Welcome to the Growth Through Adversity podcast, where men are forged, not coddled. Here we dive deep into the path of true transformation in pursuit of physical, mental, spiritual, and temporal growth. We talk training, nutrition, business, mindset, and spirituality. We embrace strength and we loathe ease. We reject weakness in every form and cultivate power, the will to power itself. This is the rebirth of modern man. Raw masculinity, tempered by reason, virtue, and right action, because nothing of value is earned without sacrifice. Let's begin our apotheosis together. Welcome to another episode of the Growth Through Adversity podcast with your host, Ragnar the Warwolf. Today, we are going to talk about what is killing your gains. And it's not the things that you think. It's probably not your training routine. It's probably not even your nutrition program. If those things are dialed in and you're still not making the progress that you're making, a problem that I see a lot of people have is going to Peter, I apologize. I am a little late. Another thing, one of the things I got caught up training a new employee today, so I apologize for that. This live block, I'm still not totally used to the time, so I'm having to figure out that workflow a little better. But we're here. And I'll be better about that moving forward. So what we're going to talk about today is alcohol. So if you're working out and you're drinking, and I'm not even talking about drinking heavily, I'm talking about really drinking at all, it's going to unarguably damage your progress in the gym, 100%. Aside from anything else that we're going to leave all the ideological stuff and the opinion-based stuff about alcohol out of this, and I'm just going to break down what it does to your fitness journey, what it does to your metabolism, and what it does to your body in relation to your training and nutrition. So, number one, what you have to understand about alcohol is that it's a poison. Your body recognizes ethanol as a poison. Therefore, it becomes what's called the first order priority for your metabolism to remove it from your body, to detoxify your body of this poison, because the message that your metabolism basically gets when you drink is that, holy shit, we just ingested something that's going to kill us. So your metabolism shuts all non-essential processes down. Now, the key with that is non-essential processes include lipolysis, which is your body liberating energy from fat, e.g. fat burning, and protein synthesis, or your body rebuilding muscle tissue. Both of these are inhibited when your body detects ethanol until all of the ethanol has been removed from your system. And then there is also a carryover window where your metabolism has to switch back into non-essential processes that takes a little while. Some studies have found up to 48 hours. So that is going to be huge. So if you're working hard and you're training hard and you're drinking on a regular basis, you can kind of see the idea of how that's going to damage you long-term for your goals. So for muscle protein synthesis, it's shut down up to 30% for 24 to 48 hours, studies have found, even with moderate drinking. So we're talking somewhere in the 3 to 5 drink range. We're not talking about shithoused, falling over drunk. We're talking about like you had a few glasses of wine at the restaurant type of alcohol level. Is going to shut down your protein synthesis by up to about 30% for up to 48 hours. So that's that's 30% less muscle tissue your body is going to be able to grow for the next 48 hours after drinking. So that's huge. How it does it is it blocks the mTOR pathway. I'm not going to go into all the science behind that, but that is the main pathway that our body uses to build muscle. And now it also shuts down lipolysis or fat burning. Your body again sees the alcohol as poison, not fuel. It's got calories in it, but they're empty calories. Your body converts alcohol into ethanol, and ethanol is a poison. Your metabolism recognizes ethanol as a poison, and so it's a first order priority to remove it. Burning fat is a non-essential process. It's not something that needs to happen, just like muscle is. But removing poison from your body is an essential process. So it's going to prioritize that over anything else. So it's going to shut down fat burning, and it's going to shut down muscle building, protein synthesis, and lipolysis until all the all the ethanol has been removed from your system. Fat oxidation drops by up to 70%. So protein synthesis drops by up to 30%. Fat oxidation, even less essential, apparently, to your metabolism, drops by up to 70%. So that's massive. Your body is basically not burning any fat while it's processing the alcohol. Now, the window for lipolysis seems to be a little shorter than protein synthesis. Again, muscle building is shut down for up to 24 hours. Um, Whereas lipolysis is shut down until all the ethanol has been removed. So you can do the math. They say that it takes roughly 1 hour per drink to remove those drinks from your body, depending on your body weight. So if you have 3 drinks, that's 3 hours where your body isn't burning any fat, roughly. If you're smaller, it's going to take longer. If you're bigger, it might take a little bit shorter, but you guys get the fucking point. Now, another thing that it does that is incredibly inefficient for training is it ruins your sleep, specifically REM sleep and deep sleep. These are where muscle building, hormonal release, all of the essential processes involved with recovery actually happen. And alcohol disrupts all of that. It makes it very hard for your body to get into REM sleep and deep sleep and stay in it. So this is going to mean you're going to wake up hot, tired, you're going to wake up hungry, and you're not going to have all of the recovery benefits that you have while you're sleeping. So another problem that we run into is it absolutely obliterates testosterone and it obliterates growth hormone, mostly because it disrupts your REM and your deep sleep processes. So it lowers testosterone, and in the process, it actually raises estrogen. It damages your Leydig cells in your testicles, which are what ultimately secrete testosterone. So it's almost a form of, with excessive use and abuse of alcohol, it becomes a form of hormonal castration. So you've got to be really careful for those things, because obviously testosterone is the master hormone involved in muscle building, involved in masculinizing, but for both women and men, testosterone is heavily involved in our overall health, our overall wellness, and definitely in hypertrophy and muscle building. So, and the most common, so you guys probably hadn't heard of those elements of alcohol. The most common is obviously it damages your liver. Your liver has to shut everything else that it's doing down to detoxify ethanol. Again, ethanol is a poison. Your liver is your body's main detoxifier. It carries a molecule called glutathione that will attach to any type of foreign bodies like ethanol that it doesn't want in there and remove them through your excretion processes. So this becomes a priority of your liver. The problem is that ethanol is so toxic that it will usually exhaust your body's glutathione pretty quick, and then your liver cells have to do it. You do that over time. The liver is very regenerative. It can regenerate itself to an amazing effect. That's why when people quit drinking, they make these amazing recoveries, even though they were like on the verge of fucking liver failure and death. So the liver is an organ that is very capable of regenerating itself, but it doesn't eliminate the fact that alcohol damages it, because glutathione can't keep up with the removal of ethanol. So then your liver cells have to do it, which eventually starts to cause a breakdown in your liver. This is going to lead to fatty liver disease. So this is very, very common, especially in chronic and heavy drinkers, is they build up fatty liver disease. They build up a lot of that, and it gets worse and worse with time. It gets more inflamed, and it ultimately leads to liver dysfunction and possibly liver failure or liver cancer. So now, again, I don't want to be like a fear monger here. You're going to see that with heavy drinking. You're not going to really see that with light drinking nearly as much, or it's much less common and can much easier be mitigated. That's more of a heavy drinking thing. But the fact that, so lipolysis also happens in the liver. The breaking down of fatty acids is also a liver-driven process. So if your liver is totally occupied with trying to remove ethanol from your system, then it's not burning fat. It's not converting It's not converting stored fat into fatty acids to use for fuel. So even light amounts of alcohol will absolutely inhibit those processes. So another thing that we're going to see is it weakens the immune system. for training is almost like a double-edged sword because when we're lifting heavy and we're training really hard at a really high intensity, we are also inhibiting our immune system. So that's why if you're overtraining or you're overreaching, you're probably getting sick more often. You're feeling like shit. You're feeling run down. So you're already putting your immune system under a lot of stress when you're training at a very high level of intensity. So if you add alcohol into there, it's just going to add to it, and you're just going to have more oxidative stress. You're going to have more inflammation. You're going to have a slower healing process, and you're more likely to get sick and stay fatigued. Gut damage and nutrient loss. So it kills your microbiome. It's alcohol, just like anything else. Like, what do we use alcohol, rubbing alcohol for, which is obviously not the same as the alcohol that you drink, although it is similar. We use it to kill bacteria. Well, regular alcohol kills bacteria too. They used to use it for cuts, they used to use it for surgeries. And the stronger the alcohol, the ethanol level in it, the more deadly it is to microorganisms. So you have a lot of really good, really essential bacteria in your gut and in your intestines that when you drink heavily, you basically kill those, and you can get like you can annihilate basically your whole microbiome and get really sick from it. That's pretty rare, but it does happen. What happens over time is killing all this bacteria destroys your gut lining, and it can lead to leaky gut, which will give you poor absorption of protein, poor absorption of vitamins, zinc, magnesium, all of these essential minerals and vitamins. Alcohol also depletes dopamine, serotonin, and GABA receptors. So you get less clarity, you get less willpower, less joy, less discipline. And obviously, that's why alcohol becomes addictive because it also releases dopamine. So then you have to chase that false dopamine release that comes from alcohol because you can't get it anywhere else in your life, like much other drugs do to our brain. So, I'm not your fucking AA sponsor. I really don't give a shit if you drink. This was not a live designed to try to talk you out of drinking or give you some kind of like ideological framework why you shouldn't drink. It was merely just what it does to your training and why it may be inhibiting your gains. So, with that being said, you absolutely can drink more intelligently and still get really good results in the gym. Now, there is a reason why most professional athletes and bodybuilders don't drink because of everything I just broke down for you, at least the ones that are serious. Again, professional athletes. But with that being said, most of my clients aren't professional athletes, and they might not necessarily want to give up alcohol and the things that they enjoy in life, which is totally cool. Like I said, I'm not your fucking AA sponsor. I don't fucking care if you drink. That's your business as far as I'm concerned. So, mitigation trips, if you are going to drink, what I can tell you is that if you're serious about reaching your fitness goals and you're serious about your training journey, you're not going to drink on your fucking training days. It's just not going to happen. I think that is a reasonable compromise, because again, we want to be burning fat. We want protein synthesis to be happening, which is going to be elevated after a workout. So drinking after that is going to inhibit both of those processes, which is counterproductive. You might as well just not work out that day if you're going to fucking have a bunch of drinks. So don't drink on your training days. That I highly recommend that. Number two, you have got to supplement your liver. NAC, and really if you want to take it to the next level, shots of glutathione. If you do those two things, it's going to reduce your liver enzyme levels. It's going to keep your liver healthier. It's going to help your liver detox. It's also going to help you burn fat faster because again, that happens in the liver, and it's going to reduce overall comprehensive oxidative stress and cumulative oxidative stress on the liver over time. So NAC and glutathione are the two that I highly recommend. They're relatively cheap. Glutathione is only bioavailable basically in injections. They can be subcutaneous or intramuscularly. I would recommend intramuscular because you're usually doing like 1 cc at a time. So that's a lot of fucking fluid to put into your fat cells. But you only have to do those once a week. NAC is a pill that you'll take every day. Combination of those two, if you're drinking, is going to put your liver in a much more optimal position to deal with it. So another super important thing, 24 ounces of water per drink, period. You have to be balancing out and helping your body flush out that alcohol, and just drinking a lot of water. Alcohol dehydrates you naturally, is going to really help with this. So stay hydrated and flush that shit out of your system faster. Eat a whole meal before. Drinking on an empty gut is going to increase the damage that it does to your microbiome and the damage that it does to your guts, and it's going to absorb faster and more thoroughly. So proteins and fats are going to slow down alcohol's absorption. So eating a good wholesome meal before or while drinking is going to help mitigate some of the damage that you're going to see from drinking. Sleep extra the next day. Prioritize deep recovery. So you're going to want to give yourself the ability to fully recover from this, so that you can get back into your training. Supplement B complex and electrolytes. Though alcohol is going to deplete both of those, and it's going to dehydrate you. Again, we've went over this in other trainings. Water, you could drink all the water you want and still be dehydrated as fuck, because without sodium, water can't even travel into your cells. That's the carrier molecule that carries H2O into your cells, right? So you're going to have to supplement. You're going to lose a lot of electrolytes and a lot of B vitamins while drinking. So you're going to have to supplement those to make up for it, and to keep yourself hydrated and healthy through the process. So keep it moderate, like 1 to 2 drinks max, if you absolutely must. I know that probably sounds absurd to some people, but again, we just went through everything that alcohol is going to do to your training and to your fat loss journey. So if you want to work it in there, you can't do it every day. You can't do it on training days, and it's got to be in moderation. And really, that is moderation. Like I said, it's shutting down fat loss for the entire time it takes your body to process it out, because it's a fucking poison. So 1 to 2 drinks, it's better to have fat loss and protein synthesis shut down for 1 to 2 hours rather than fucking 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 hours. It just gets exponentially and worse with every drink. And then obviously, like, common sense, sugary mixers are just going to spike your calories through the roof. Beer is pretty bad. Wine is not great. But the worst ones are going to be the mixed drinks with tons of sugar in them, because that's just going to be a lot of extra empty calories, a lot of extra sugar calories. You're on this journey. You're trying to avoid sugar. You're trying to eat healthy. Well, don't fucking drink it. It's as bad as drinking a soda pop. So yeah, you're going to have to just stick with spirits, with either a non-calorie like soda water, or neat, or on the rocks, if you want to avoid all the extra calories and make this as well the least damaging process possible. So that is all I've got today, guys. Like I said, it's summertime. I'm not your fucking AA sponsor. I don't care if you drink. That wasn't the idea behind this. I'm just wanted to present what alcohol does in relation to training and what alcohol does in relation to fat loss. So if you guys found this valuable, Tuesday and Thursday, we do this. I'm supposed to do it at 10 a.m. my time, but I got caught up. Shit happens, but show up, learn more. If you have any questions, shoot me a message at the Beast Within 9 on Instagram, and I would be happy to answer any questions and help you come up with a plan of attack to reach your fitness goals. All right, guys, have a great fucking day. Warwolf is out.